for being here. I'm trying to set up still, obviously, and the phone is just wanting to fall. Ugh. How can I set up? Let me see. Uh, okay, we good. We good. Let me cover my coochie. So right now, I am inside of the tent, as you can see. But we got the back out. Okay? So, is you gonna hide yourself? Well, my man is in the bed eating cookies. But basically, it's a king size bed that we got in the tent. And today is like my first time doing a reading here in the tent. For the ones who do not know, I live off grid on 13 acres, and I love it. Okay. Now, of course, there are downsides. Of course, there are, there are things that come with living off grid, and it's going to go into the message that I have for this collective reading. So, let me get my pillowcase of cards out while I tell you guys about what I love and what I dislike about living off grid. So, one of the things that I love is I walk around all 13 acres naked half the time. There are no neighbors that I'm looking out for. The privacy. Let's just say it's this card energy, right? 9 of Pentacles. The privacy, I love it. I love that all of my animals can just, be themselves. I love that I don't have to change the fucking litter box. If you guys don't know, I have 5 cats and a dog. Okay? I don't have to change a litter box. They just go in the forest and they cover up their poo-poo and and that's how they use the bathroom. Okay, so some of the cons I would say is having to fetch water from the creek whenever it's really cold outside, and then have to go through the purifying process with it. Another con would be maybe when it rains, the mud and stuff, you have to really clean a tent multiple times. When you have a house or an apartment, you can do a clean about every week or so. I used to do my cleaning every Sunday. But with the tent, you have to really keep it clean because it's a smaller space. And it's easier to get dirty. Now, when it rains, all the carpets here in the tent, all the rugs have leaves in them, and they're all wet and they're all nasty. And, it's just more difficult in cleaning. But that's pretty much, hello, Mashana. Hi, baby. Thank you for being here. But, rich rising to you as well, baby. Now, I would say the pros outweigh the cons 1,000%. 1,000%. Another one of the pros is being able to have a garden, even though we only have a couple things in there like garlic, onion, collards, cabbage. We have banana, sugarcane. Yeah, banana, sugarcane, and I think that's all. Maybe we'll have some aloe vera in the summer. So, about this message. This message is about to reflect to you your inner world. And in your inner world, recently, you have been on the, not even on the defense, but you have been in your protector mode, right? Now, when I say protector mode, I mean like, Well, let me say the 3D analogy that made me think of this. Hi, Loca. So, and they love to come over here when I got cards, of course. Now, the 3D analogy that made me think of this is do not mess up my cards, Loca. Move, boy. Uh, is last night a possum tried to come and eat my cat's food. Okay, and immediately I'm like, ew, right? But my first thought was, well, let me go get my dog, okay? Because he's a big dog and he'll move the possum away from the cats. So the possum was in the cat food. And yeah. So yuck. But that was symbolic for this message, right? So this message is well, thank you for everybody joining the live. Please like the live. This message is for someone who you have been protecting things that you left accessible. You have been protecting things that are closer to home. You have been protecting things that make you who you are, like your truth. You have been protecting or you are protecting your energy, your auric field, your nourishment, right? And with the possum coming in, this possum energy is a scavenger, is somebody nocturnal, somebody who comes out at night when nobody's looking, right? And then they play dead, they hide their hand. Oh, so let's get into this possum energy. Who is this possum energy here? I do have the 8 of Swords in the 10 of Cups that came out. So this possum energy could be somebody who, and then I have the card Running is here. This possum energy could be someone who is running from themselves within. It could be somebody in your family. Or somebody who was close to you and then betrayed you. This could also be somebody who you were in a friendship with and or maybe did some things that were illegal with. Okay? Who is this possum energy for the collective here? Somebody that you have memories of love with. But with that being in reverse, it's somebody that you have memories of pain, memories of hurt with. Yeah, but they try to become a nice guy or show themselves off as a nice guy, which is the weird part about it. Okay, let's see where I can get this. Energy of somebody being a possum is the energy of somebody who false narrative. Yeah, this is somebody who tried to characterize you in a way that was not fitting of your actual character. You can use this person in the comments as an example, right? They get on this live and they say that the cards are evil, right? When they have no understanding that the only reason I'm on this live is because God put it in my heart to give these messages. No understanding at all. So when somebody mischaracterizes you, they do it to make themselves feel safer. They do it to make themselves feel better, right? And in your situation, it feels like this person who was miscategorizing you, this possum energy, this person who tries to play nice or seem like a nice person, but they're filled with nasty energy. They're filled with energy that makes them want to look at people and judge them. They're filled with the energy of illusion, right? And this could also be somebody who thought that they were doing the right thing, but the energy that they were doing it in was the wrong energy, right? So it's the energy of hiding your light. Whoever this possum energy is, it's somebody who wanted to diminish your qualities, right? Whenever you made a mistake or whenever you did something that was disapproved of, that part was blasted, right? Now, whenever you did something, whenever you spoke, right? Whenever you articulated yourself, whenever you did the damn thing, period, those actions were minimalized. So it's given the energy of this person couldn't just say, hey, your words are resonating in my heart. They couldn't say that. It was hard for them because that takes a level of vulnerability. And, you know, vulnerability takes strength, and they're having a hard time with the inner strength, right? So this is somebody who appears to try to be a nice guy. Entity attached to them, and they have no idea. They have no idea. No idea. And this is significant, especially with that person that commented. This is really significant. They thought that they were doing it in the name of God. Whoever this person was for you, collective, they thought that they were keeping you safe, right? Take this person for example. Hey, cards are bad because the Bible says so. Well, the Bible also tells you to kill infants. The Bible also tells you that slaves should obey their masters. The Bible also tells you that in hell, you will burn in the fiery brimstone. Brimstone burns blue, right? So people who call themselves Christian, they have no idea who Christ is. So it's giving me the energy of whoever this possum person was, they thought that they were doing the right thing. They thought that they were keeping you safe by telling you that you couldn't accomplish this, this, and that. They thought that they were... It's something about doing it in God's name coming up here too. So it's the energy of how people are brainwashed to hate other people for their own beliefs. But in the name of God, right? In the name of God, hate. Who taught you that? It's giving that, right? In the name of being a good parent, beat your child. In the name of being a good friend, right? In the name of and ooh, okay, this is another one. For whoever y'all are that this is a friend, in the name of being a friend, they decided to chip at your confidence, like try to point things out and say in the name of being a friend. It's the same energy of like the fake Christians, right? Well, I'm doing it because God wouldn't want you to do that. So God will want you to cuss. God will want you to wear shorts. Those are all sins. No sin is greater than the other one. You're judging me. That's a sin. You cuss. You wear shorts. You're sinning, babe, according to the book that you live by. It's the energy of a hypocrite, right? I am someone who speaks to God daily. Even when shit doesn't make sense, I do it. When God puts it in my heart to say, hey, somebody needs a message, it doesn't have to make sense. You're in your bed, you're in your pajamas, you got your bonnet on, you're get on live right now. You didn't plan to go on live right now. You got errands to run, but I need you to get on live and speak to somebody. I need y'all to hear that. I am somebody who uses my gifts that God gave me. A human can't make another human psychic as strong as I am. That's God. A human cannot give another human the gift of being a medium. Only God can. So what they don't understand is your authority wasn't given to you by any human. In fact, every single human that you maybe even encountered in your adolescence was someone who tried to dim you. Your authority came from the divine. Okay. Psychically, I'm picking up that you need to hear this because you almost let the naysayers' opinions matter. You almost let the comments matter. Oh, Loki, stop it, little boy. Oh my gosh. It's something like, oh, okay, this is what it is. So, your intuition is really, really strong. But you end up second guessing yourself when other people put their energy into it. Right? What this message is calling you to understand, it's calling you. All right, who is this person in my comments still? Ancestors, warriors, just go eat them alive. I don't give a fuck what you do with them for the next 3 months. Torture them. Fuck it. Okay. You shouldn't be on my page anyway. Stop fucking with spiritual people. Anyways, so back to it. It's the energy of someone not wanting you to trust your insight, to trust your creativity, to not trust your divine inspiration. Yeah, it's something like that. So yeah, it's something like that. So Mashana, are you still on here, baby? I don't know if you're still on here or not. Yeah. And Spirit, with every comment that they put, add another month. Okay? Thank you so much, Mashana. So as a mod, what you can do is you can get people like this out of the chat, right? So who is this person? Misconception of Christianity. Yeah. So whoever this person is, you can hide them from my channel, right? And you would think that if you don't like what someone is doing, you wouldn't be supporting their channel, right? That just makes sense, right? Like, maybe let me scroll past this, right? It just makes sense. But some people are just obsessed with your divinity and they can't, they don't want to. Their soul knows why they're near you. Their soul knows why they want to communicate with you, but consciously they don't know why. Consciously they may hate you, but obviously consciously they may hate you, but unconsciously they want to be, they need you. They need your healing. Ooh, that goes back to the message, right? People trying to make you second guess your divine inspiration, right? So use me as an example. I just got on live and told y'all I have no idea why I'm on live right now, but I feel like God put this in my heart for a reason. And then this person in the comment says, those messages come from Satan, right? So trying to make you second guess your divine inspiration. Whenever you are getting in your creative bag, and thank you so much, Mashana, I really appreciate you, baby. But you don't need my permission to, like, you don't have to wait until I say, Mashana, get them. You don't need my permission to do that to people. You know, I'd rather you just get them out of here, because if I see them and I tell, you know, my spirits to get their ass for the next 3 months, everything is going to go bad in their life for the next 3 months. It doesn't matter what you get, what you buy, who you meet, you're going to feel unsatisfied with your life for the next 3 months. So go enjoy that. I would rather you get them out of here before I have to sick something on them, for real. Because when it comes to being somebody like me, if you resonate with my energy, when it comes to being a truth teller, when it comes to standing in your authenticity, standing in your power, then you're going to have, oh, you had to figure out how to remove them? Yeah. Hey, I'm learning how to use this shit too. You good, baby. I really appreciate you for being here. I got a message to put out. I do not have time to be I'm channeling out. Okay. Now, back to it. So it's the energy of like, ooh, when you have ideas that come in, do not share the energy. Do not express that to other people until you have started on the project. I'm telling you this because your energy is really potent when you keep it to yourself. When you tell people, they're going to try to implant little things in your head. Now, it depends on it depends on who you're close to. If you're here right now, then most likely you need to hear this because you're not close to people who want to see you win. So, never, ever, ever don't second guess yourself, period. Oh, another example is I had a call scheduled. So if you guys don't know, I do a free consultation call before you book with me. And I had a call scheduled, but this person pronounced my name wrong. They spelled my name as Kiara. And what I take that as, whenever I meet new people, whenever I meet friends and they pronounce my name wrong, I automatically take that as a frequency misalignment. So when this person said, hey, Kiara, are you ready for the call? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. So I got on the call and I'm like, I already know this finna be bullshit, but I'll see. And then I got off the call laughing because it was bullshit. Because I already knew that. And it's not to say that everyone who says your name wrong is misaligned, but it's to say that that's what that means for me. If you have little doodads or little meanings for different things, then and your reality reflects whatever your meaning is, stick with it, right? Another thing for me is whenever I see butterflies, I ask source to tell me you love me with butterflies. So literally, whenever I see a butterfly, I know that that is source telling me that he loves me, right? When you have little doodads like that, when you have little when you're having a conversation with yourself, right? Like when I see that in my reality, this is what it means to me. Just remember that, right? And never ever think that that is a coincidence. Never ever ever think that that is just when you see it, right? Never ever ever think that coincidence. Okay? So, yeah, that's coming up as well. And let's get into the cards. Let me set this up somewhere that is stable. Seriously. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Give me just a minute here. I want to set it up somewhere good. Okay. I want to set it up somewhere good for y'all. Okay. Yeah. Now let me pick up these cards that my cat drops. My kitty cat. Okay. It's something about a tower here. You having to move on. I say this in almost every single one of my videos, but I am a doula for death and rebirth. So whenever you're seeing this, you are in a period of transformation. You're in a period of the sacred in-between space where you're either finding out who you're not, or you're finding out who you want to be, or you're finding out who you are. Okay. And this is really thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate those, y'all. Let me see. And basically, with being a doula for death and rebirth, I meet people whenever a chapter has closed for them. And you know, what I tell my clients and what I'm going to tell you now is the same information. But I will say this, because this is something that is collective, you're going to have to listen for what is you. You're going to have to listen for the confirmations and the things that are for you, right? Because every single thing that I say may not resonate with you. Now, as someone who is always changing, as a creative, I'm always changing. I'm always changing what I want to create. I do art, poetry, music, pottery, so many things. I'm honestly trying to find some really good air dry clay so I can do more pottery inside. But it's the energy of you need someone to guide you in this 0 point space. Whenever you're in the 0 point, it may feel like you're floating. You may feel like a leaf that's just, you know, in the wind at this point. And, you know, just searching for friends, searching for groundedness, right? You're already very much grounded within yourself, but it's more like searching for a grounded community here. It could even be a grounded partner for some of you. Someone who grounds you in who you are. Surprise is here. Nice guy is here. Okay, what does my collective need to hear at this time? What is this surprise? Nice guy coming in. With the possum energy from the beginning of the reading, it feels like you need to be aware of people who try to come in to try to come in to get nourishment and then sneak off into the night. You need to be aware of the people who only come around you when they want support instead of connection. Do you see my eyes? Do you see my eyes? I mean it. You need to be aware of the people. Because you have left your ego self. You are not identifying with your ego self. You are not identifying with your the self that was programmed for poverty, programmed for scarcity, programmed for insecurity, programmed to be a servant, to be a caretaker, to be the emotional stabilizer with never getting recognition. The part of you that was programmed for that, you're out of there. She's done. He's done. You took the garments of your old self off. Or you're ready to. You're ready to hear the truth. Like, it's not okay for people to only come around you when they need your nurturing. You deserve connection. You deserve reciprocity. You're not someone's mother. When you're looking for a friend, when you're looking for a partner, when you're looking for a community, you are not the titty that they get to suck on until they're full. Do you understand that? You're not the titty. You're the hand that gets to be held as they're holding someone else. Do you understand that? Reciprocity, not the titty. Okay? That's coming up for you guys too. With your energy being more potent, more people are going to want to be around you. I know you're looking for your soul family. You're wanting them to come in. Do not force it. Something about this possum energy is back. Something about this possum energy. This hide their hands. Hide their hands. Somebody appearing shy, but they know exactly what they want, and that's your nourishment. What is this possum energy? Here's some index cards, y'all. Oh, you see how they just fell? Let's see what fell. You are becoming the person that you've always needed. Whoever's liking the live, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I also appreciate just, oh my gosh, child. If this phone fall one more time, how I'm gonna do this? Maybe right here would be better. And on that timeline, you allow yourself to get comfortable with this person, and they end up showing you that they were only there to, suck up your nurturing and your nourishing energy just to get what they want. And once their inner child feels safe enough, once their inner child feels your safety integrated within them, once their inner child feels your confidence integrated within them, then they're going to leave to go to, someone else, because you would have been drained at that point. And whenever they do detach, whenever they slowly start to not respond to your text messages, slowly start to not pick up to your calls, slowly start to become really busy, then you are going to go into, why do people always use me? I thought that I protected myself enough to not let people use me anymore. And then you're going to go into a spiral of shame. So that's the Tower. Feeling like I learned all this stuff and I'm still dumb when it comes to discernment. That is the Tower. That is something that is collapsing. Get away. Check it. Now, that is something that, would be destabilizing. Hey, Mr. Gray. But yeah, so that's what I'm giving. That's what I'm picking up. That's the Tower that you are avoiding by having this conversation. A setback. We are avoiding a setback for you right now. The Sun card. This is going to put you on a more happier timeline. A timeline where you have boundaries and you meet people who have boundaries. A timeline where you understand that boundaries are not disrespectful. Boundaries are you showing someone how to love you. Okay? Boundaries are only disrespectful to people who have none. KK? KK. Tell me more about, what is this Page of Swords in reverse? Somebody watching and waiting? What is this here? There's somebody watching you work hard. It feels like somebody... Okay, let me fix this. Yeah, it feels like somebody... they're watching you go within. Yeah. Somebody's watching you go within. Tell me more about this person who's watching the collective go within. You don't have time for them. Or you're more distant. It feels like an old friend. Is that coming down? Well, I'm not going to mess with it until they come all the way down. Somebody's watching you receive your dharma. Is this seriously going to do this? Okay. I guess I'm supposed to go outside for some reason. Which is, it feels like, sorry guys. It feels like somebody's watching you finally do what's best for you. That's what's in the energy. Okay? You finally doing what's best for you. Okay. Back on the bed. Well, what about this? Why is this relevant here? Somebody watching you finally do what's best for you. Oh. Oh my God, can you please get away? This is so annoying here. Hold on. This is so annoying. Get away, Yellow Jacket. Is something about somebody trying to get you irritated too? Something about that. Divine feminine, because you putting in what? Work, labor, and efforts. Trying to distract you from yourself. You may be running into a lot of energies that are trying to distract you from yourself, which is interesting. Yeah, because everybody is just doing a whole lot. No, Winston, get out of here. No. Oh my God, my dog is in here. No. Oh my God. Somebody is trying to get you to distract from yourself because they know that what you're doing is clearing your karma. You've had a lot of tough relationships, and they were all meant to balance out the scales of karma. You're integrating lessons that have took you many lives. So in your time alone, you do the shadow work. In your time alone, you sit with uncomfortable things. Something that is uncomfortable for you is your power. So for many lives, you have been shown, just for many lives, even this life is so exhausting. So many people who didn't recognize you, so many people who took you for granted, so many people who underestimated you just off the bat. It's all been trying to show you that that's how you think about you. You see it. You see it. You're learning the lessons. You're I mean, cause and effect, it's clicking up for you. It's making sense. So you don't have karma left. Some of you still have a little bit, you know, it's I just heard a milligram left. So some of you still have lessons, karmic lessons that you need to learn when it comes to standing in your power and knowing who you are. No, 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 no. Winston, get out of here. What's wrong with you? Get out. Thank you. Damn. Funky ass. I don't like him in the tent because he don't take baths and stuff. At least the kids keep themselves clean. Ain't that right, my babies? My local man and my Mr. Gray. Anyways. People trying to distract you from yourself because they're trying to delay the inevitable. Which is you knowing who the fuck you are. I sound like you with butterscotch. Yeah, Mashana, I love your doggy. He's cute. Your dog seems more well behaved because mine, he eats shit and all that. That's why he don't come in. Cause don't even come in here look at me. Cause you bad. Just eating shit. Like what? Why are you eating cat shit? Anyway. Why is that significant? Why is eating... I just heard they eat their own shit. So the energy of somebody trying to distract you from you, it's giving like somebody going back to things that are not serving them, eating their own shit. Even though these decisions have led to not outcomes that I like, I'm going to continue making decisions like that. But you are someone who learns from your mistakes and you're making different responses. This is why you are not operating on the same level as, you know, whoever I'm speaking on. Feels like multiple people. With you making different responses, the energy within these people, so it's given the, like, you've had an upgrade, right? You've had an upgrade in how you view yourself, how you view people around you, how you view your life. The people that used to know you when you were still in your lower self being the person who was in the lower vibrations, when you were still ashamed of your truth, when you were still afraid of your power, when you were still numbed, when you numbed your emotions because your sensitivity felt like a curse around people that were energetic brick walls. Back when you were your lower self, these people knew who you are because you were predictable. They knew what your response was going to be. It was going to be you over-explaining. It was going to be you trying to justify. It was going to be you trying to defend yourself against mischaracterization. These people knew who you were. For some of y'all, it's your parents. For others, it may be, career. I don't care. This is collective. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And if you don't, your intuition is not strong enough to be on a collective reading at all. Okay? So you need to go practice that. You need to be able to trust yourself before you can trust any reader or anybody who is sensitive to energy like me. But for the people who, this was your parent, I'm hearing things like they knew that you were a sweetheart, but they called you a troublemaker because of the truth that you speak. They knew that you were a sweetheart, but they called you a bully because of your reaction to people trying to degrade you. What else, Spirit? You don't defend yourself when you know who you are. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why the energy of like irritation is being thrown away, or the energy of distraction. Like, oh, look at something else. Stop studying yourself. Stop asking yourself how you feel and how you think. Stop observing yourself. Look this way. Energy that's causing you to look this way, to be distracted or whatever, that's coming because, well, goddamn, if they don't do it now, they're not going to be able to do it. It's inevitable that you are going to be someone who stands in your power. Either that's going to be this life, the next life. It's inevitable. But goddamn, if they can't distract you now, they're not going to be able to do it. Right now, you're learning how to trust yourself. Right now, you're learning how to trust the first feeling that you get, the first sense. You're learning to trust your first sense instead of the common sense. You're learning to, when you feel, you're learning to trust the feeling. Once you go ahead and beat this level, once you trust yourself, it ain't a damn thing that nobody can do. The mischaracterization doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of me going no contact with my family. About last year, I went no contact with my family because I ended up being homeless. I had ended up getting in an argument with my boyfriend. And I'm like, okay, fuck that shit. I'm leaving the house. When I left the house, I had nowhere to go. My sister told me that she could, she let me live with her. That great, right? Because she lived with me for like a year rent free. Well, it was technically 6 months on and off, but rent free. So I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, this is damn near like you helping me out because I helped you out. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna go down there. I'm safe. I went down there. I stayed 5 days. 5 days before the mask fell off. Whenever the mask fell off, this is how it unfolded, right? So a friend of mine called me on the 5th night I was there, and he was like, hey, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but how are you? I ended up telling him my situation. He was like, well, damn, I don't have much money to help, but I have enough that I can go and buy you a drink or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, that'll take my mind off of it. Let me just go get a drink. I went out, got a drink, got some wings. Me and him talked about whatever. And I went back to my sister's house. And then, first thing when I went in there, she said, my cat pooped on her wood floor. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, clean it and get the cat out. So I'm like, oh goddamn. This is after me getting her permission to even have the cats in the house, right? Because I was gonna keep them outside, but she said you can have them in, it's fine. So on the 5th day, came home, the cat pooped. I cleaned the shit up, and I got the cats out, right? So keep in mind, right now it's 3 in the morning when I cleaned the cat shit up. It's just a loose herd. You know how the cats poop. So yeah. And then after I cleaned the cat poop up, I went to go sit in my car with my blanket just so I can take a nap. I'm exhausted at this point. It's 3 in the morning. She's blasting music, and she has as a fucking attitude with me about the cat shit. I'm like, oh my God, no, whatever. So I just go sit in the car to, sleep, because it's really loud in there. And, at least I can have my cats in my car, they can jump in the window and cuddle with me or whatever. So, and this story ties into the mischaracterization. So this is all going to wrap up. So, what happened after that? Oh, I go and sit in my car, and immediately my sister got offended by my absence. Yeah. Why are you sitting in your car? So she comes out there, she said, why are you sitting in your car? You're mad about the cats? And I'm like, no, I came in here to sleep. Well, come back in, because if you're going to be in my house, you're not going to be able to sleep in your car and be in my house at the same time. You can just go live in your car. And I'm like, ooh, whatever. Why she want me inside so bad? And keep in mind, this is a studio apartment. So it's just me and her. I mean, we would have to share a bed. We would have to, So why would you be upset that I sleep in my car? It just didn't make sense to me. But now I realize she had an entity attached to her that was so angry that I separated my energy. Anyways, so, of course that happens. And then she finally goes back inside. So I go to sleep. After about 30 minutes, I look up at my phone. She has texted me about 34 times. I have about 16 missed calls. Y'all don't even want to know what's in the text messages. Dirty stuff, nasty stuff. I asked her, why are you so offended? And she was like, well, I'm not offended. You're mad because of the cats. And I'm like, okay, you want me to be upset about the cat, so you have a reason to be offended. Cool. And let's just say that she continues texting really nasty stuff, and I just end up telling her, well, hey, obviously you don't want me here. And she finishes like, well, that's why nobody feels sorry for you, and something, what was it else? Nobody feels sorry for you. And it's been 5 days. You've had enough time to get your emotions together, so nobody feels sorry for you. And then she says I was using my boyfriend for money. And I guess it's because, he's a provider. Whenever we lived together in that apartment, like, he provided, okay? He allowed me to start to get to know myself. He allowed me to have time off so I could meditate and to know myself. So I don't know. I guess that's why she was saying that. And it was something else too. And I'm like, you know what? I never asked for your sympathy, but what I won't tolerate is disrespect. So I left. I didn't have nowhere to go. But when somebody treats you like that for no reason, it ain't nothing you could do. So I left, right? And then at 4 in the morning, my mom calls me. Hey, Kiana, well, where are you at? And I'm like, I already sent my mom, my auntie, my brother, the text messages, so they know what's happening. But she called me and she's like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm in a parking lot, mother. Where else would I be if I'm homeless? And she was like, well, Tatiana has a reason to think that you're lazy because, oh yeah, I forgot to tell that. So in the text messages when she was talking nasty before, she was calling me lazy. She was saying, because at the time I was doing spiritual hypnosis and I was doing readings and I was also door dashing. So because I didn't work at a factory, I guess I was lazy. Whatever. So yeah, so my mother called me trying to justify what my sister said. Like, well, you know that she just had a past experience of you being lazy, and you know how it is when you're working, but then you come home and somebody's there, and they haven't been working. And I'm like, mother, what are you talking about? I've applied to 5 different jobs this entire time. Plus, I'm also doing my online business, my entrepreneurship. Plus, I'm door dashing whenever they let me schedule. So that's about 5 hours a day they'll let me schedule it. So I'm like, well, what else am I supposed to be doing? How am I being lazy? And she's like, well, and I'm like, you know what? Exactly. Why did you even get on the phone call trying to defend somebody? And actually, fuck this. And I hung up. And after that day, it was fuck this and fuck this family. Because you know what? What happened next is my brother sent me a text message replying to the nasty text message that I sent him for my sister sending me. And he replied, well, you guys are always fighting. Like we were 2 fucking 5-year-olds fighting. That's just his way of being avoidant. And then I sent him to my auntie as well because I have nowhere to go. And my auntie said, well, that's a little blurry, so I can't see it. So basically, they all just avoided the situation. And I was someone who was they tried to miscategorize me as the problem, as someone who was lazy, even though I'm literally an entrepreneur. Plus, I'm working jobs. All right? So this may relate with your story somehow. How can I be lazy? But my mother called me to ask me if my sister could live with me. How am I lazy when you live with me rent-free for 12 months and you still haven't paid me back the money that you owe me? Which is about $7, if not more. How am I lazy, but you depend on me? How am I late? Like it never made sense, right? So it's the energy of somebody wanting you to defend yourself. And then after all this happened, guys, I think it was like a month ago, my sister and my brother commented on my post here on YouTube. They commented and they were like, what were they? I forgot what the comment was. But it was something dumb. Oh, I think my little brother was like, you cut us off just to talk about us. Because in that video, I'm pretty sure I was talking about parental sabotage. So he was like, you cut us off just to talk about us. I'm like, okay. That makes sense, right? And then my sister was like, our mother clothed you and bathed you. And basically they were both just like, well, I've never complained. We had a good mother. And it's like, we grew up together, y'all. You suffered the same abuse as me, except you're still in the mindset of, well, I don't complain. Well, don't complain. don't tell the truth, So it's giving the energy of mischaracterization to try to make themselves feel better, right? Because if they lie on your character, they never have to face their character. If they lie and say, well, you cut us off so you can talk about us, they never have to talk about, well, Kiana, you were the loving person in the family. They never have to talk about, hey, well, I always knew I could count on you, Kiana. You were the loving person in the family. You were the one who gave us so many love offerings and emotional offerings. You were the one who told your sister to love herself. You were the one who, told your mom to love herself. You were the one who tried to give God's message to the family even when they didn't believe you. They can't comprehend my character It wouldn't make sense to them. So it's easier to just decharacterize you. It's easier to say, well, you cut us off just to talk about us, because they cannot fathom that, if Kiana was the most caring, if Kiana would actually sit and have a conversation with you and listen to you, if Kiana was the one that told you your greatness, if Kiana was the one that told you your value, if Kiana was the only one in the family that really had a pure heart, why would she ever walk away from us? That comprehension, that reflection is too painful. So, for you, collective, the comprehension that you had the same upbringing, circumstances, life decisions, you made the same kind of decisions as this person at one point in time, the comprehension that you went from that to who you are now, that hurts them. So they rather mischaracterize who you are now. Well, who you are now is somebody who is a facade. Who you are now is somebody who yeah, you're pretend. Who you are now is somebody who is you're anti. You're anti, right? I know y'all have heard that before. Oh, you antisocial. Who you are now, so it's easier for me for people to mischaracterize you, and also simultaneously on an energetic level, the people who are doing this, they don't even have enough consciousness to even comprehend what they're doing. On an unconscious level, what I see this as is energy harvest. If they mischaracterize you, then what? You have to say, well, actually, I'm this person. Don't you see that I've done this? You don't have to explain shit. In fact, the explanation is the point. The explanation is the point. How much energy are you giving away when you over-explain to somebody who still doesn't get it, right? They're purposefully misunderstanding you. They're purposefully misunderstanding your actions because that justifies their ego. We're not over-explaining. I'm not even explaining in the first place. We're not doing it. So, in this new season, when it comes to people with possum energy, when it comes to people with the energy of not being genuine with you, if you don't cut it out then, you might not ever cut it out. And the second that you feel that the energy, first of all, as someone who is sensitive to energy, even if you haven't really cultivated your psychic gift, you have them. So if you feel a gap in the energy, right? They're talking to you, right? They're saying things to you, right? Like, oh, I've been looking for friends. It's been so hard to look for friends, and blah, blah, blah. But you energetically feel a gap, like something's missing. Like something's off. And if you don't listen to the first thing, you're not going to hear it no more. If you're on my channel, you have a spleen. Same thing I have, spleen. Spleen speaks to you once. It's a bodily yes or no. Whenever you putting your shoes on, but you pause before you head out the door, and you're like, well, did I forget something? No, you pause because your spleen is telling you you shouldn't be out, or you shouldn't go right now. When your spleen tells you something and you ignore it, you ain't getting it back. And that's where the confusion comes into play. Okay? That's where the confusion comes into play. I feel like this message was just a reminder of Why? Well, it's not even a reminder. This is a reflection of your inner world. This is a reflection of what you can expect in your outer world. So expect for your power to be tested. Expect for someone to want to challenge your power. Expect, because you're finally you're realizing that you are powerful. You're realizing that, you know, you always have been an emotional stabilizer. You're realizing that who you are. So with realizing your power, there's going to come people that try to challenge you. You say you're powerful, they're going to challenge you. But the possum energy is going to come in because you have cultivated discernment in your inner world. You have said, you know what? I actually got a message about that, but I ignored it. I wasn't being discerning there. I listened to that voice and it saved me. I was very discerning there. So this is called, like, you acknowledging discernment where you have and have not used it in your inner world is now causing your outer reality to bring up confirmation, a test of discernment. Someone's going to try to come in and you're going to have to discern. Yeah. And how you behave will be confirmation for your inner world that you have the gift of discernment, that you have it down pat, that you have mastered it. What else, Spirit? The gift of discernment is not hypervigilance. Okay? Hypervigilance, whatever, and the gift of discernment is two different things. Spirit is saying, don't look for what you need to be defensive on. Do not don't look for someone trying to fuck with you. Don't look for someone trying to deceive you. Don't look for someone trying to connect with you. Don't look for it. But when it comes in, be discerning of the energy. You may have someone that come in and they're a genuine person. And then you may have someone else come in and they're not. But with hypervigilance, you're looking for what you need to be defensive for. So you are defensive to someone who is not even trying to offend you. Someone who is safe. So let's trade the paranoia for discernment. Let's trade defensiveness for discernment. Huh? Angel numbers. The number 9. The life advice for the number 9. Well, first, I feel the need to tell you about the number 9. The number 9 is the activist. If you've been seeing 9s lately, this is confirmation. So maybe numerology is significant for you. You can add up all the digits of your birthday and see what your number is, I guess. So, number nines, they are humble and selfless. They can get burned out, if you are a number 9 and you aren't careful, the selflessness can turn into self-neglect and self-denial. So as a number 9, moving towards self-love is really helpful for you. The strengths of someone who's number 9, or this is what Spirit is calling you to hone in on, right? Your strengths and your weaknesses. So if you resonate with this, just keep it in mind, okay? The strengths of number 9: cooperative, forgiving. I just also just heard if you're 33, that's 9. That's 3 times 3 is 9. So you could be in your 9 year, 33. Also your 6 year. If your age adds up to 9, yeah. And then of course, let's say your age adds up to 72. Well, 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay. So let's go more into this. Your strengths could be that you're cooperative, forgiving, generous, humble, idealistic, and selfless. Your weaknesses: impractical, obsessive, over-emotional, preachy, and self-negating. So I think that's around self-criticism, self-neglect, things like that. The mantra for number 9 is I give. Over-giving, being someone who's a giver, being someone who is spiritually rich, spiritually wealthy. You just give. You give energy for no reason. Nice for no reason. You're kind for no reason. You stick up for people for no reason. You don't need a reason. You don't need a reason to help nobody. You don't need a reason. Okay? Just like me. I'm telling the truth. I'm speaking to y'all for no reason. I got no reason to be up here. I'm not getting paid to be up here or nothing. Okay? So, number 9's talents: acts of service, creative pursuits, that's coming up again. Fighting for causes that they care about, that's coming up again. Giving back, showing genuine compassion, that's coming up again. Okay? Some life path number 9s: Serena Williams, Mother Teresa, Sam Smith, Spike Lee. The day of the week for number 9s is Tuesday. You are most compatible with 3, 5, and 6. I'm 3. Colors you might like: magenta and black. The gems are opal. The plants are English ivy, magnolia. I love magnolia. The insects and animals are wolf, whale, and crow. Those are all significant for me. Is that coming down again? Oh. Okay, let's see. The life advice for number 9: accept that you can do a lot, but you can't do it all. Celebrate wins to avoid getting bogged down by everything that still needs fixing. Be careful about overcommitting or overextending. This is coming up again. Listen to this, y'all. I'm not saying this for no reason. Practice receiving the kindness and generosity of others. Okay? So, some essential oils are lavender, musk, rosemary. It says some health in ailments are mood swings, muscle aches, tension, inflammation, foot pain, emotional overreaction, bruising. And then here are some places with 9 energy. Detroit, Michigan, Paris, France, Tokyo, Japan, and St. Elias National Park in Alaska. So yeah, I mean, that may be significant. Honestly, that damn near just summed up the whole reading. I was talking about half of that stuff. So I mean, just to close this up, I want to say to remember, trade defensiveness with discernment. When someone comes into your life, after everything that you have went through, to rebuild the foundation that is you, everything that you have went to rebuild and remodel and renovate the home that you have inside of yourself. Be careful who you let in that door, and take that welcome mat the fuck away now. When people come into your life, use that discernment. Allow people to show you that they are trustworthy, and that's going to take time. Do not trust people before they have shown you that they are trustworthy. You need a little bit more than, yes, you can trust me. You need a little bit more than that, okay? So allow people to show you that they can trust you. If their actions are not showing you that you can trust them, don't. Nada. Okay. Yeah, so I'm finna go to the Weed Man house. I love y'all. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you guys. Like, seriously, man. Seriously. I love going live for y'all. I love you always being here, Mashana. I really appreciate you. You have been such a devoted soul to my cause for like at least a year, I think. So seriously, like, and I want to tell you personally, Mashana, and everyone else seeing this live in the future, like, when you are someone like you, when you are number 9 energy, when you are, I mean, I just told you, like, when you're somebody like me, when you're somebody like you, when you do things for no reason, when you're kind for no reason, you don't just be kind so people think that you're kind for no reason. There's no agenda. I might not always be a nice person, y'all, but I damn sure am a good one. I damn sure am a good person. I damn sure am a good one. And I promise you, I know that. And I need you to know that about yourself, because there's going to be people that try to mischaracterize you. Because if they say your character for real, it's going to hurt their heart. Everybody don't have the strength to be vulnerable to tell you what your character is. Everybody don't have it. You have the strength to be vulnerable. Everybody don't have it. Everybody don't have the strength to be able to tell you, hey, you really helped me when I needed somebody. I don't know who I would be without you in my life. They don't always have the strength to tell you that. So sometimes it's easier to underestimate you, to say that you're just another person yapping off. It's so much easier. So much easier. Because if they told you your character, it would demand respect. If they told you that you were the only person in their life that genuinely cared, and that's why they question if you really do, it would take some vulnerability. They don't got the strength. They don't have the balls. They're not going to tell you what your character is. I need you to stop looking for other people to tell you what your character is, and you need to know who the fuck you are. KK? KK. KK. So, I love you, Mashana. Love you, baby. And yeah, so, that pretty much sums up the message. You know, there's also a message here about not leaving things accessible. What are you leaving accessible? Are you leaving your time accessible, right? Let's say you have a lot of time on your hands. Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom or something, and you just feel like you have extra time, so why not give it away, right? If you're on here, please like the live, okay? I would really appreciate that. And, you know, of course, they boost my channel. So, you know, this is free. I do this for free. I speak from my heart for free. The least you could do to, you know, honor the energetic reciprocity is to like the live. Okay? Now, yeah, I mean, it's just the energy of like, it's the energy of over giving and overextending here too. Over explaining. We're not doing it no more. No. No, no, and no. We're not. Sorry. So your energy is really potent, and people are going to come to you trying to get you to over explain, trying to, you know, get you to just give them some attention. Right? And it's like take that person who was in my comments for like 20 minutes straight just trying to spam just to get attention, saying something about I'm speaking Satan's words or whatever. They just want attention, y'all. They want some energy. They want it. And even if they're human, does not consciously understand why they can't leave you alone, why they can't stop watching you. Their soul knows that it has been corrupted by an entity that has lost its divinity. So it forgot that it could just plug into the same source that created us and get your divine light back. When people have entities, first of all, in order to be on that vibrational match, you have to have the same emotions as that entity, which is feeling unworthy of love, feeling unworthy of forgiveness. You can't forgive yourself. So just like the person that came in here speaking about, you know, God, God, this, God, that, you're speaking Satan's words. You're in the energy of judgment. You're judging somebody who you have no idea. No idea. Because of a tarot card. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to energies like this, the best thing that you can do is to just not even give your attention to it. Because what that energy was here to show you guys on this live is you must be able to continue the word through distractions. You must. You must be able to continue being you when people don't like it. You're in a space where you're ready to be your authentic self. You're ready to receive wealth. You're ready to be receiving, right? And in order to receive, you have to be comfortable with who you are to even feel that you're worthy of that. So if you don't even feel that you're worthy of dropping the fucking mask, how do you feel that you're worthy of receiving love, which is money? How do you feel like, you know? So my thing is, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to you're going to have to be okay with the things that come with standing in your light. You're going to have to be okay with people seeing your light and wanting some. You're going to have to be okay with telling people no. You're going to have to be okay with being yourself. And if anyone else has a problem with it, tell them to fuck off. You're going to have to be okay with standing on business when it comes to bullshit. You're going to have to be okay with doing the right thing even when it's uncomfortable. And in this season that you are in, with your energy being really potent, there are going to be people who try to come in as a sheep in wolf's clothing. Well, reverse that. A wolf in sheep's clothing. They're going to come in like, well, I just want a friend and I want connection, but really, they want a fucking mentor. But really, they want to see how you're doing it. They want to see the blueprint. And guess what? You're going to have to be okay and comfortable with saying, fuck off. And guess what? It may be rude to the human, but the energy that's in their vessel, it knows exactly who you are, and it knows exactly why it wants to be in your energy, and that's to make you a fucking battery. So when you are meeting people, because you're ready for soul family, right? You're ready. When you are meeting people and you notice that they're studying you instead of trying to connect to you, get the fuck up and leave. Get the fuck up and leave. Like, and this is why, people may consider me a bitch or whatever, but it's because I know my energy is potent. I don't hand it out like coupons either. And nor am I going to. That's exactly why it's potent. So, listen. In this new season, your discernment is going to be key. And, yeah. I need you to be ready. Yeah. I need you to know who you are. I need you to know what you bring to the table. There are going to be individuals that want to use your name for clout. They want to say your name. They want to speak your name. They don't want to be friends for real, but they gonna make sure that they are commenting on your posts so you can comment back so people think that you're friends. Ain't text you one time. There are going to be people that want to talk about you badly just to be able to say that they knew you. Weird. Fuck being nice. Fuck being nice. I need y'all to know that. Okay? So I'm going to close this out now, and what y'all talking about? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love you, Miss Shauna. And yeah. I was thinking about next live. I want to do some questions, some Q&As, and some I want to do a video. What is it called? It's not a Q&A video. I want to do a video where I read you guys' emails from, what is it, on YouTube. So the next time I go live, if I have any emails, I will read them, right? So ask me for my opinion, ask me for advice, for free. You have to email kianafrequency@gmail.com, and whenever I get to it, I'll get to it. So I'ma read it, of course anonymously, but I'ma read it on live, or just for the video, because you know most likely other people have those questions. And yeah, so that's available. Allow me. Is there anything else? I think that's all. Well, as always, guys, on the live, if you catch a live, you're going to get a reading that is damn near like 40% off. So my readings are normally $55, but on live they're $22. So, but it's only on live, okay? You have to catch a live. Other than that, you know, text the number in my bio. Okay, I love you guys so much, and yeah, thank you for being here. Of course, thank you so much for the donations. Thank you for your engagement, your support. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe. Yeah, I mean, all that good stuff. Thank you for everyone on the live. Queen Orbit, hello baby. Yeah, thank you Mashana for being here. I can't see who else is on the live, but thank you guys for being here so much, and yeah, I love you. Bye. KianaFrequency@gmail.com, okay?